What's up, everyone? This is Silver Slayer. This video is critical. You gotta be subscribed. You cannot be blindly investing anymore. Too much is happening nowadays, and you got to be kept in the loop on a day-to-day basis, and I will do that for you. I'm also doing a 37,000 subscriber silver giveaway. The entry video is either going to be tonight or tomorrow, so make sure you're subscribed. I'm also going to be doing a 38,000 subscriber giveaway. 39,000 subscriber 1,000. I'll be giving away over $1,000 worth of silver. One of my biggest, if not my biggest, silver giveaway yet. So you got to be subscribed. Now we're talking about some serious stuff. Not only is silver going to start rallying on real fundamentals, not just from a fake Reddit target, not just from a short squeeze trying to manipulate the market real quick, but on real fundamentals, supply and demand. And speaking of supply and demand, we have the Silver Institute, the holy grail of information in the silver market. Nobody else gets information, sources information like them. This is it. They are forecasting global silver demand forecasted to rise 11% in 2021, reaching over 1 billion ounces. But then we have articles like this. Houston, we have a problem. 85% of silver in London already held by ETFs. The silver is not getting sold. People are buying and holding. So it's going to be harder and harder to get your hands on more silver, even physical silver. Look what happened to Amex. Sold out. The biggest silver dealer, the biggest precious metals dealer in the world. Sold out. We're talking about they won't even take orders. We're looking at JM Bullion. Their site crashed, went offline. Provident Metals won't accept any orders. Some places, $400 minimum. Other places, sold out. Or you have 10 to 15 day waiting periods and delays because they had so many orders. That's a small glimpse into what the future is going to look like. For us, the ones that have been accumulating silver for months or years, we are going to be some lucky people because the majority of people are going to start buying in once it's too late. Got to get in before the curve. Got to get in early. Don't start buying when most people do. It's too late. When everyone starts talking about it, it's too late. You got to get in before. So, anyways, we have some interesting articles to cover, so let's jump right into it. So, based on the chart, which showed a price surge of 22% in just 3 sessions, one might have thought that the asset depicted was Bitcoin. Surprisingly, the spike from the low on January 28th to the high on February 1st was the action of silver, an asset not generally known for volatility. I mean, it is, but not to that extent. Precious metals are not supposed to look like a Bitcoin chart. Media reports said it was another Reddit rebellion in the wake of the social media fueled move on such equities as GameStop. And this was by retail investors forcing the short squeeze on hedge funds and financial institutions. That, however, was fake news. Hedge funds and investment banks have been net long for some time now. As well, the total valuation of precious metals is estimated to be anywhere between hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars, making it much more difficult to target manipulate versus GameStop's $1.4 billion. Which is definitely true, but also there's a lot more that goes into precious metals that people even know about. But the thought, though the news of the Reddit frenzy targeted at silver went viral, authentic fundamentals for the white metal were what actually caused it to move higher. In early August, Bank of America analysts had already noted if Joe Biden was elected president, his proposed green stimulus initiative would boost silver to $50, roughly doubling its value. And that's a no-brainer, rightfully so. Look what would be happening if or when this happens right here. Zero net carbon emissions by 2050. So we're not just talking about, a silver demand for the next couple of years. We're talking about decades, 3-4 decades of silver needed, being pumped and produced and demanded from trillion-dollar companies. But where is this silver coming from? Where's it going to come from? We can't just dig out a billion ounces of silver in just a year and just say, here you go. It's got to come from somewhere, and the price is going to rise because the ones who own the silver, like you and I, will be able to set the price and say, okay, you guys need silver, you guys want silver, okay, but we're going to sell it at what we want. We're going to sell it at the price we think is fair. $25 silver, I'm not letting my silver go. You guys can go pick up silver from some other place or pay extremely high premiums. Spot price is going to rise. Low supply, high demand shoots the price up. Now, I like how these do go into charts. I like how this does, kind of give some insight and some context. If you want to keep on reading on, I'll post a link in the description, but I really want to jump into this one as well. So 11% in 2021. And you got to remember, we had a global pandemic in 2020, so demand was already high from that year as well. So against an improving macroeconomic backdrop, the main segments of silver demand are expected to rise, led by industrial and physical silver investment. Global silver demand is expected to achieve an 8-year high of over 1 billion ounces. That's a lot of silver. Physical investment, which covers silver bullion, coins, and bars, expected to achieve 6-year highs in 2021, 257 million ounces. And that's going to be interesting, and that's as investors continue to add silver to their holdings. Keyword is holdings. People aren't letting this go. People are buying and holding. And there is no recirculating silver supply. Silver is used in electronics, so most silver is thrown away. Gold is recycled, re-scrapped, because it's used for necklaces and earrings and jewelry and coins and bars. So the gold that's being dug up out the ground is being recirculated, as and silver's the exact opposite. Silver gets dug up and then it gets thrown away. So silver price and investment. The recovery in the silver price, which first emerged in 2019, continued last year. As a result, the average annual silver price rose from $16 to $20, a 27% increase. And with the onset of the pandemic, the market saw an increasing number of countries introduce looser monetary policies. So a bullish move for silver has been witnessed in the opening weeks of 2021, and that's obvious. It pushed to an 8-year high at $31. Gold to silver ratio fell from 62 to 1, which is a 7-year low, meaning silver has been drastically and dramatically outperforming gold like we expected. Now, it's going to be interesting right here because now we go into supply and demand. The outlook for silver demand is bright, with the global total forecast to achieve an 8-year high, 1 billion ounces. Now, industrial demand, 4-year high. Investor demand, 6-year high. And we're looking at these numbers all across the board. Gold it can't even be in the same ballpark, can't even be the same ball game because gold isn't an industrial metal. Gold can only come from investor demand. There is no industrial uses for gold. Then we have the photovoltaic sector, PV sector, and that's talking about photovoltaic cells in the green energy revolution with Joe Biden, 5G towers, electric vehicles with Tesla, silver lithium ion batteries. So we're only going to see silver come from the demand come from all different angles. Investors, big business, everywhere needs more silver, but there isn't as much. Even global jewelry demand is bound to rebound 174 million ounces. But that's still below pre-virus levels, but it's still rebounding 174 million ounces. And that's a modest recovery in India. India uses a lot of silver for religious reasons. But yeah, then the silver supply, mine production should recover, and it should rise to the pandemic-affected levels, achieving a double-digit gain this year. It needs to. This would be the highest total since 2016. Now that silver is starting to catch the attention of big business, it seems like it's going to be more of a focus. When silver was down for all those years, for the last 7 years in the $15, $20 range, nobody's looking for it. Now it could be on the radar more, and like it says, growth will be driven higher by primary mines like Mexico, Australia, Peru, China. Those are the biggest ones by far. Peru and Mexico accumulate 40% just themselves. pandemic got hit hard. They got hit hard. So at the end of the last year, not much silver is coming out of the ground, especially since silver is found from byproduct. No, when we're looking at, when we're looking at this in the long term, it's going to only get worse, and we're starting to see the beginning. But this is just the beginning. Remember that. Thinking like a decade, how severe this problem could be. I mean, look at what it's already doing to the market, and then thinking like a decade from now, once all of this is in full gear and full fledged, when when the green energy revolution is kicked on the way. We haven't even thrown out the next stimulus package yet, right? This isn't even the beginning yet. We're still in the pre-stage. Now, this is an interesting article as well, because it's talking about 85% of silver in London's already held by ETFs. It's just showing more and more insight on what people are doing, what their strategy is, right? We can look at people buy silver all day, but what are they going to do with it? This is going to give a little bit of insight, right? We're talking about ETFs, the digital side, essentially the same thing. Reported silver holdings, we're talking about reported stocks consist of ETP, exchange traded products, and then we have unreported stocks, allocated silver held within the sector or within the wealth sector. A lot of people are holding it, investors. Now, when we're looking at this short squeeze and what this did or what this is doing, I don't know if this is going to have any long-term effects. It could be a nice lesson. It could give an idea. We can get a glimpse of what could happen or what's in store for the future on a much larger scale. But anyways, let's read this little paragraph. So in short, scarcity of available silver in London is far more advanced than most people think, and with 14 ETFs, not just SLV, competing for available silver. And that's true, right? It's not just the SLV. Everyone's competing for available silver. The bullion banks and storage providers are now in Houston. We have a problem mode, a problem which you will see from a quick review of these 14 silverback ETFs and ETPs, which claim they are fully physically backed with silver stored in London vaults. But how are they going to be able to actually exchange that much? And when people do hold ETFs and ETPs, they're not actually going to exchange it for physical silver, but they still have to be able to back that. First, we will review other ETFs, and finally, the big one. So when we're looking at this, it's going to get a little confusing, a little complex and chaotic, but rightfully so. I mean, there's so many different ones. They said 14 still looking for physical or available silver. And this is like this. Does the SLV have all silver it claims to have? No, it doesn't. I mean, how? How could they have all that silver to back? They don't. So if everyone wanted to cash in, what would happen? There wouldn't be enough silver for everyone that owns those ETFs to have. That would be an interesting scenario. Now, anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I'm gonna leave it at that. It is interesting to look at this and think of it from this perspective, but in the grand scheme of things are just getting started. I don't think people realize the extent how severe this is, but I hope everyone on this channel does. If you thought this video was educational, informational, at least entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. Remember, make sure you're subscribed. I post daily videos, but I'm also doing a lot of giveaways. If you want some free silver, make sure you click that button. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.